Hey guys, how many times have you been overwhelmed by the pressure of not being understood by who you really are? By the pressure of not being seen and accepted for who you actually are. I've been there several times and I still am there. You know, there's people in our lives that have their limitations and they cannot go beyond them. Even though we're trying to be our best versions, even though we're trying our best to prove them that there's some things that will not impact in any way the relationship that we can have, or it doesn't harm anyone. There's still people that cannot take us for who we are. So that's one of the greatest adversities that I faced and I still do. But the greatest lesson in it is, I think, it's the fact that we need to still be true to ourselves, regardless of what other people say, to understand that there's relationships in this life that may be toxic, and that even as hard as it seems and as hard as it is, actually, we need to remove some relationships from our lives. We need to be comfortable in our own skin. We need to, wake up every day and stand up for ourselves because we love who we are. One of the greatest lessons is to learn to love ourselves. That was a very, very hard lesson for me because I had that inherited perception that if I'm going towards loving myself, then I'm selfish. And I'm fortunate to meet more and more people that encourage me to be myself, encourage me to love myself. And I realized that by learning to love myself, I can spread, universal love towards other people in such a different way. This is actually the way that I managed to go back with my husband, to be honest, because I learned to love myself. And then I learned to channel that self-love towards other people. And it's really interesting to discover yourself in such a way. It's really interesting to take that path as hard as it is, because it is hard, to accept that the inherited ideas are not ours, are theirs, and that we need to learn how to think for ourselves. That's a really hard process. But once we get there, once we are open, as I said in some previous videos, once we are open to, see adversities as opportunities to grow, then we will be able to understand that self-love is not selfish, but is the only way in which we will be able to channel and, provide actually the proper love for a person. So my advice for you today is, if someone cannot take you for who you are, then I do have a life principle that I guide myself after right now, which is, who doesn't like it is not my audience. Stay tuned for tomorrow, day 7.